everybody.
Hi, friends. Well, from beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah.
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
Where we, a couple of atheists, just normal dudes who don't believe in God, just try to make sense of this crazy, mixed up, overly religified world.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up on the show today, Dan, the Wall Street Journal, not a publication we tend to go to.
That rag
for all of our stories, ran a great story this week about the rise of ex-Mormon influencers on TikTok.
I don't know if you and I read the same article because I saw a hit piece about the Mormon Church.
Well, that's what Mike Lee saw as well. Our esteemed Utah senator, to our senator from Utah.
So yeah, we're gonna be shitting on Mike Lee coming up in the. You're not gonna want to miss.
It's
that.
Always open season on Mike Lee. So
Mike Lee is. He is a diarrhea fart of a person.
He's unbelievably awful.
Such a piece of shit. All right.
We'll be getting to that in the second half of the show. But first, we have stories.
Yeah.
Things that happened from the news this week, including, and I'm going to get started with this one, Dan, the ongoing fallout over the thoughts and prayers that were extended to the families.
We're still doing thoughts and prayers. We're still doing it.
Yeah.
I thought we had taken care of that.
No. And it does seem like we mentioned last week on the show that it is all that the right is able to do on the issue of gun violence in America is to just extend their thoughts and prayers and get outraged if anybody questions that, and to hide behind, the dead children when people call for
it's too
gun
soon,
control.
Frank.
It's too soon. It's
Frank,
the wrong
it's
time.
Too soon.
How
some
dare
respect
you?
For
People
the
are still
families.
mourning. Yeah, that crap. Right. Anyway, so the way that this story goes is, and what we covered last week was how Jen Psaki, right, the former White House spokesperson,
not chief of staff, but
she was the spokesperson for she was the press secretary.
That's the one.
And
the Allison Janney, if you will.
Yeah. But Psaki has gone on to MSNBC fame.
Yes. And
has quite a presence online. Anyway, so she said some stuff about thoughts and prayers that riled up the right. I think we talked about specifically Mike Johnson's response to that. But he was not the only one. Anyway, what happened in the interim, since we talked about this and now us recording, is that others have waded into this whole thing. Oh, no. And were, I think, already involved, but now sort of own the mantle of it, including Gavin Newsom, governor of California.
Yes.
Who's really gotten into the mix. I don't know if you're aware of what he's doing online right now. But he is.
I'm fully aware. What he has done is stopped being governor of California and taken up being online troll full time.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's doing a great job of it too. Anyway, so I applaud the governor of California for doing this. Anyway, so he gets in a little bit of a dust up with Mike Johnson.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that Newsom said was that got the whole thing, that caught the flack of Johnson was he said these children were literally praying as they got shot at.
Yeah.
Right. Good point. Right. Prayer. What is prayer going to do for you? This is
a
real world. Didn't. Well,
if God's not listening to the prayers of children under siege, he's sure as fuck not listening to the prayers of Joe Schmo in southern Alabama.
Yeah. And what about the poor the kids that actually got shot and the ones that died?
Yeah.
Right. What horrible things had they done that God would ignore them and their pleas,
their prayers? Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so Johnson got all pissed off, calling Newsom's comments anti-Christian rhetoric and sick.
How? Please explain how. Please explain how that's anti-Christian.
Yeah. Questioning your complete inability to get anything done on the issue of gun safety in America.
Yeah.
And instead your hypocrisy and just hiding behind these deaths and whatnot. Like, come on, fuck off. Anyway.
Well, the other thing is, we had somebody write into us. I did not have enough time in this episode to do all of the emails that we got.
Sure.
But we had somebody write into us who just said, what the fuck are you praying about?
Yeah.
They're already dead.
Right.
Are you praying for them for it to not happen again? Because it ain't working.
Right.
What are you praying for? Give me a specific about what the fuck your prayer is in this moment.
Well, I think Johnson, does he get to that? I don't know if he does. Let's go through his comments. He says, he goes, questioning again, Newsom chiming, like, daring to say anything.
Right.
He says, I mean, why? Like, why would he do that? Why would you do that? Except that you are starving for attention. It's detestable. 2 children were murdered. Right. And he said that Gavin Newsom's response was to sneer and condemn those who seek out.
At you piece of shit. Not at the families, not at the children.
Yeah.
But at people who have the potential to stop this.
Yeah. Who are in position.
Don't.
Literally one of the most powerful positions in the nation. Right.
Right.
To affect change.
Yeah.
To actually do something.
To make it stop.
Like this has been going on.
We know what makes it stop. We know how to do it.
You remember Columbine? That was in the 90s.
Yeah.
That was the one that really got the whole school shooting thing. This whole
that inspired a whole generations.
Really got the ball rolling.
Yeah.
On guns. I'm sorry, school shootings.
Yeah.
That was the 90s. It's been like going on 30 fucking years.
Yeah.
And they've been able to do absolutely nothing. And when people point it out, because that's what we're doing when we question your thoughts and prayers, is we are pointing out that you have done fucking nothing to solve this problem. You are just another politician in a long line of conservative Republican politicians who refuse to do anything about this issue, except maybe throw some security money at the school so they can fortify themselves against the madmen out there who have access to guns, which is the real fucking problem. Anyway, Johnson goes on. I just thought it was evil.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's indicative of such a profound moral decay that really the only hope for Gavin is prayer, ironically. You're so clever.
Okay, well, you know what, Mike Johnson? Do that then. Pray and make Gavin Newsom what you want him to be.
Yeah.
Let's see if it works.
Let's see if it works. It's not going to.
Let's see if it works.
But this whole thing of just hiding, like the whole stance that he's setting up and that they set up every single time is to hide behind the murders instead of doing something. And that is evil.
Yeah,
right?
Of course it's
that
evil.
That is true evil. Anyway, so Newsom reposted the clip of Johnson saying all of this on X.
Yeah.
And then wrote Matthew 6:5. And when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and on the street corners to be seen by others. Truly, I tell you, they have their reward in full.
Yeah.
And Newsom has also recently pointed out that Louisiana, which is where Johnson's from, that's where he is a representative from.
Right.
It has a murder rate nearly 4 times higher than California's.
Yeah.
And Johnson in response is like, just says, Gavin Newsom will do anything for attention. He can name drop me all he wants. He needs to go and govern his state, not be engaging in all of this.
What are you doing?
Because he's making you look bad.
Well, also, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Are you governing?
No.
Oh no, you're also name dropping and also engaging in exactly the same behavior.
So Newsom, who is he's turned himself into this wonderful little troll.
Yeah.
He responded to those comments with Bible verse, James 2:14. What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but has no deeds?
Yeah.
Snap. Come on. Like,
listen, you can play that game all day long.
Yeah.
That's an easy game to play. Just hit him with the scriptures.
Oh, golly. So that's going on. Not that it's going to get anything done anytime soon, but
no.
Anyway.
Well, there you go.
So fucking frustrating.
I'm gonna take us to Florida, where a guy was arrested. Alas, this is the leader. His name is David Taylor. He's the leader of. I just saw his mugshot, and he looks like he's somehow his mugshot looks like he's wearing a clown wig. They caught him on a bad hair day. It's not. Tell
me at least it's a natural color and not rainbow.
Correct. I mean, he's a black man, and so it's black hair. But
okay,
it's just a bad hair day. Anyway. He was the leader of the Kingdom God Global Church, which I'm sure you've all heard of it.
I'm a big fan, actually, of their work.
Apparently, so he has been running a ministry, and like many ministries, he has volunteer labor. People volunteer their time to man the phones for pledges of money and all.
Sure, yeah.
That's one way of putting it. The other way of putting it is that he had a forced labor camp of people where he would literally deny them food and torture them, or like physically hurt them, psychologically abuse them if they didn't meet crazy fundraising goals.
So it's a call center. So this is a call center.
It's a call center.
This is a normal call center workplace.
Yes, indeed. Yes, exactly. Except that he didn't pay anybody.
So kind of like a call center.
Just like a call center. Any standard call center. But yeah, this is so bad that he and his accomplice were arrested for, like, they had made $50 million. And of course they just kept it all. And so he was arrested from this insane mansion in Florida.
We are so in the wrong business, Dan.
I know.
How?
Yeah.
Why did we do an atheist podcast, Dan, instead of starting a church?
Instead of just abandoning all our scruples and going straight for the money, the cash grab. I don't think, here's the truth. I don't think we'd be as good at it as this guy, because this guy really leaned into the cruelty. Like, it was amazing. Everybody, like he had these people psychologically destroyed. The story that I
honestly, Dan, this is checking all the boxes of a call center job, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is just the more you get into the story.
Have you ever had a call center job?
I did when I was a student. I worked. It was inbound calls. Fortunately, it was not outbound. Yes. It was for the company that we were placing the orders for. Like, it wasn't some outsourced nightmare. But then it was a good job, and I really enjoyed it until they hired a manager who came from that world, and then everything shifted and turned and got awful, and I got out of there. Yeah. But yeah. So I have some sense of
what this of I don't think that
how bad it can go.
I don't think that even your bad boss would have sent the following text.
Okay.
Which was apparently from Taylor to one of his people that worked as a, quote, armor bearer, which just meant personal servant to him.
Okay.
But also they had to work the phones. So this is the text. You'll have to raise $164K today. Each hour you fall behind, consequences will start. We will mess with the food. You will fast from the regular food or abstain for a while normally. As of now, there's a 21-day peanut butter and jelly regiment like before. Those who do not push in their calls individually and as a team with the right amount of people and closing numbers at 6 p.m., they don't eat dinner at all. If they do good afterward, this time, then at the end of the night, they may get a snack before bed, but not much, and this regiment will go on every day for 21 days until they obey. Take away the food, there will be other consequences. We must make them fast and pray.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, they took away the Costco muffins and the Capri Suns, and it really motivated us.
Oh my God. That's
insanity.
That's insanity. And here's the thing. Okay, so he and his accomplice,
these people are, they're volunteers. They're religious volunteers, right?
Well, I mean,
or is this
are they volunteers, or are they, I mean, they're at this point they're just trafficked people.
No, sure. But
enslaved
this started
people.
out as did this start as them recruiting volunteers?
Yeah, and I'm sure that there's a
mission.
process of come and live with us. We'll take care of all your meals. We'll take care of all your living expenses or whatever.
Right.
I'm sure it's something along those lines.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
But man, yeah, and they had campuses in Michigan, Florida, Texas, and Missouri. So this was that is effective cross-state torture of humans.
Yeah.
And they're facing 10 years or so of prison and hundreds of thousands of dollars of fines, which to me seems so do they get to keep the $50 million and pay hundreds of thousands of dollars of fines? What's happening?
I think that is kind of how it works. Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to fraud big, because when you get out of prison, it's easy street.
Yeah. Holy shit. Well, all right, Dan. That's a great one.
Yeah, there you go.
That's better than selling some sham tropical fruit juice,
right?
Which is what we were doing. Yeah,
oh, was it acai berry something or something like that?
No. I don't think I can actually name the fruit without getting in some trouble because there's still a
copyrighted
big multi-level marketing company that is completely based on this one fruit, which tastes horribly. And
name the fruit. You can tell us what the fruit is.
It was the noni fruit.
Oh,
it was the noni fruit.
The noni fruit.
It was yeah. And it was awful. And people it was a multi-level marketing sham thing. I didn't know what it was. It was just a job, right?
Yeah.
And my friend worked there, and I was like, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, pays fine, and it's just inbound phone calls.
Right.
I wasn't a distributor. I was literally placing orders.
Thank you for calling Noni Fruit. How can I direct your call?
No, there was a script, but
I know. I also have worked those kinds of jobs.
But I had to know how all the downlines worked, and
oh god,
it was awful. Anyway, that's where I was like, what the hell have I gotten myself into?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Kristi Noem. Dan, do you know who Kristi Noem is?
Noem?
Are you able to conjure up an image of our Secretary of Homeland Security?
You know full well that I am unable to conjure up images. That is not a thing that I have. That is.
But you're not aware of.
I'm fully
the fact
aware.
That she appears
she
on television as the Secretary of Homeland Security.
Yes.
In cowboy hats and
and
dressed up like she's a real housewife of somewhere.
Yes.
Pierre, I think probably. So it's the upcoming season, Dan.
It's
the Real Housewives of Pierre.
If you're in North Dakota, it's pronounced Pierre.
Yeah.
South Dakota.
South Dakota. I know. I had to look it up because at first I thought it was Bismarck. Because those two, they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
Two. Anyway.
Nobody cares about the Dakotas. Just shut up, Dakotas. No one cares about you.
Well, they produced Kristi Noem, who was governor
and that's why we
South
care less
Dakota.
about the Dakotas now. Yeah.
And then because she sort of was willing to dress herself up as a Trump woman,
right?
She
killed that liberal dog of hers, so she got that out of the way.
Anyway, she has announced that the Department of Homeland Security will be awarding $110 million to more than 600 faith-based organizations and nonprofits across the United States.
Homeland Security money?
Yeah, in order to, quote, harden their defenses against attacks and to protect themselves, apparently from the violent criminals and radical organizations' intent on hurting American communities. And so they've decided that, this is what they're going to do to help.
So presumably this will go almost entirely to synagogues and Islamic and mosques, because they're the ones that are actually facing real persecution in the United States.
That would be an interesting way to go with it, Dan. However, I don't think that's the direction that they're thinking.
I'm shocked.
In fact, people have already. I have some tweets. I have a tweet here that is calling out to make sure that these checks are not handed over specifically to radical Muslim Brotherhood mosques.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because all of the mosques are radical, but all of the extreme Christian sects, they're just good hometown Americans.
Others have questioned and this money being sent out to churches, pointing out, Dan, the widespread fraud that was committed during COVID by churches that received community money in order to tell
you who's not in the habit of turning down money, and it's churches.
Well, and who, once they get money, refuse oversight.
Oh, yeah.
They excuse me? You can't look at our books. We're a church.
Absolutely not.
Right. So anyway, the money is supposed to be used on security enhancements like cameras, warning and alert systems, gates and lighting, access control systems, and training for staff.
Yeah.
And she points out that this money will be used for this instead of funding climate change initiatives and other political pet projects, unlike this political pet project.
Right.
Great.
But I feel safer already.
But this does feel like this is coming right on the heels of a religious school getting shot up in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And so I would just like to point out, yes, once again, Speaker Johnson, let's not politicize these school shootings.
Right. It's not political, Frank. It's security. And our homeland is secure.
Yeah. But also, how pathetic is it that you're like, oh, wow, all these, crazed lunatics with guns, right? What should we do to keep people who are mentally unwell, right?
Right.
Keeping them from having access to guns, right?
Hand out more guns.
No. Let's put up some security cameras.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and probably arm church ushers now, which they already are. Like lots of churches have already armed their ushers and whatever. We live in a bad country, Frank.
It's the lunacy of just.
Okay, so I just said that we live in a bad country. I'm going to use that as a segue because while we do live in a bad country that is retrograde in so many of our policies and we are not moving forward and getting better, we're getting worse. Not as quite as badly as Afghanistan, where, oh my gosh. Okay, brace yourselves.
I'm glad it's not as bad as Afghanistan.
This is a sad story. So I am just going to
But is Afghanistan now our new Mississippi, right? Like, well, at least we're not Mississippi, right? Like, it's like, oh, well, at least we're not Afghanistan.
Yeah. And this is our fault too. Like we withdrew in such a haphazard bullshit way. That was Biden's fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we broke their country. And here's how
broke it again.
But I think allowed it to break in a way that's worse than it's ever been.
Yeah.
And one of the really telling moments of this is that they just recently had a very bad earthquake, like 6 on the Richter scale, and 6, especially in a place that doesn't have great building codes and whatever, and has a lot of, stone buildings and whatnot. That's going to wreak havoc.
Right.
In these rural cities and towns. More than 2,200 people died, and 3,600 others were injured. It was a disaster. It was really, really bad. It was not made better by the fact that by order of the Taliban, male rescue workers are not allowed to make skin contact with female people in need of rescue. So they fucking ignored them.
Oh my God.
Teams of rescuers poured into small villages and towns, and they were all men, and they just left women in the rubble.
Put some gloves on. You can't have skin contact. Put some gloves on.
Right? Like, it's like, do anything. Fucking ignore.
How about you, dear male Afghani? Put on a burqa yourself.
Yeah.
And rescue those women.
Yeah. They were dragging women's bodies out of rubble by their clothes so that they didn't have to do anything.
Oh, Jesus.
Because if you're not a member of their family, a man is forbidden from touching a woman. Even in an emergency situation like this, they were not able to see their way clear to bend the rules a little bit. And not only that, of course, this comes, I think, a year after the Taliban banned women from getting medical education.
All right.
Which means that there are going to be fewer and fewer women who can even, fewer and fewer women doctors and women nurses who could treat women.
Right.
Somebody needs to do the math over there and realize that this is, let me carry the 2 plus half your population, you idiots.
Oh, Dan.
It's gross.
Yeah.
It's so anyway, that's what's there. So we're not even all the way to women wearing red robes with white hoods yet. So we're doing fine.
That's
here.
too much. That's too much color, Dan, for the Taliban.
Yeah. No, I'm saying if we're not even going to be what's the name of the show? The Margaret Atwood.
Oh, The Handmaid's Tale.
We're not even to Handmaid's Tale yet. We're nowhere. Right. We're doing fine here. In these
us.
units.
You're saying us.
I'm saying we in America aren't even Handmaid's Tale yet.
Oh, I was confused. I thought you were saying we in Afghanistan because it is confusing.
Do you know, Frank, that we are not in Afghanistan, you and I? Are you aware of that fact?
I can't even make that joke.
Was my story so compelling that I transported you? I feel that's what happened.
Your storytelling skills have really
you were taken away.
Along. You were taken away. That seminar you took was money well spent. Dan,
it worked well. It worked well
on spinning yarns.
I told you it didn't matter that it was for 12-year-olds. I got a lot out of it.
All right, Dan. Well, from that wonderful story, the uplifting story.
Yeah.
I'm going to one that I feel the need to trigger warn.
Okay, great. We're just in a great place here. It's nothing but fun out in the world here on the TGIA show.
So, and this is serious. I'm going to try to wipe the residual smile off my face. So if if sexual abuse of a detained woman by a male chaplain is something that you would find it disturbing, even in the details that
spoiler alert. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know, Dan. That was dicey. Even in sort of I'm going to keep the worst details out of it, but if that's something that really would bother you, you might want to move along, because the details that I am going to be covering are really disturbing. Because I think it's important to know what Pastor Mark Melhorn, 67 years old, did as a Baptist chaplain at a privately run ICE lockup in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
He is facing accusations of sexually abusing a detainee over the course of more than a year. After he initially had gained her trust.
Mm-hmm.
The woman, who's only identified in the article as Jane Doe, and I think in all the official legal filings and whatnot, the court filings are also, they refer to her as Justice Jane Doe.
Right.
So she was in the facility. She was being detained, and she's Christian. And so here comes this chaplain, and she's sort of immediately sort of drawn to him. He visits the detainees sort of every afternoon. He would hold services that she would attend. Well, anyway, he became fixated on her and initially started to start using sexualized comments,
right,
in her and gestures toward her. He would call her hermosa, bonita, preciosa, which are beautiful, pretty, and precious, I believe. And he would ask her if she liked how he looked. He would stare at her breasts, lick his lips while staring at her. And while he and the other women would sing hymns together, he would position himself so that he could stare at her from behind. And when she would change her position, he would shift his and continue staring at her. So anyway, he did things like placing his hands on her head as if he was praying for her, but then instead running them down her body. And so it goes on and on. It gets to the point where he actually goes into her cell and sexually assaults her. And he told her that not to tell anybody what happened, because even if she did, nothing would happen. She did end up reporting him twice. And he was right. Nothing happened.
Yeah, because she's brown and in an ICE facility where there is no law anymore, and the U.S. is a lawless hellscape.
Yeah. And let's see. In October of 2023, she caught him watching her shower. In March,
which means that he has the full approval of the people who operate this facility. If he has access to the women's shower, that means that he has been given the run of the place.
Yeah,
by the people who run the facility. They know what he's up to,
man.
And they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they're aware. We'll get to that in a second. I just kind of want to get through just how bad this was, right?
Oh, good. We haven't gotten to the bad part yet. Okay, fantastic.
Okay. In March of 2024, he entered her cell while she was sleeping, woke her up and groped her. The following month, he went into her cell under the pretext of bringing her religious pamphlets. It says he stood in front of her bed and began making sexually explicit comments, then grabbed her breasts, inner thighs, buttocks, and crotch. After which he forced her to touch him. I won't name the part. Anyway, so it keeps going. In April of 2024, so this is just on the heels of that, she met with a social worker, and she said that she was having trouble sleeping and she was looking for a prescription that might help her relax. the social worker asked her why she was so anxious, and that's when she opened up.
Yeah.
And the social worker told her that she was obligated to report the allegations under the Federal Prison Rape Elimination Act, or PREA, P-R-E-A.
Right.
And
let's make sure that we put all the burden on the victims here. You have all the obligations.
Yeah. And then she was glad that she spoke up because Melhorn had done things like this before.
Yeah, obviously.
Was a social worker. Okay?
This is not the kind of person who, like, that behavior is not a one-off. Yeah. That is someone who knows what he's doing and is not going to stop.
Right. The complaint, the court complaint, also asserts that this all was sort of corroborated by a nurse who worked there, who ended up telling the woman that Melhorn had earned a reputation at the facility as a, quote, pervert. Anyway,
pervert is different. I believe the word you're looking for is rapist.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. But
Miss Nurse.
Well, who knows what the nurse was fully aware of?
What the nurse knew. Yeah.
Anyway, so this keeps going. So during the PREA investigation, he was actually removed from the facility.
Oh, thank goodness. They did one thing well.
And then during that period of time, other women in the unit kind of turned on Doe and threatened her for snitching on Melhorn. And so she was moved into protective custody. And then the PREA investigation deemed that her allegations were insufficient. There was insufficient evidence. And so he was allowed back in.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, so he then shows up and at where she was in protective custody, stood outside her cell. And I don't even want to say what he
Don't
did,
worry about it. Yeah. We all know what's not good.
He's saying her name and asked what she had done to end up in protected custody. And so anyway, so this just keeps going, and eventually she gets out of the facility, and now she's suing. And I bring it up because it is yet another one of these stories of chaplains and anybody near the clergy in this country, as long as you're Christian, right, being given absolute free reign and this trust, right? Even as allegation after allegation comes out against you, the trust just continues.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Oh, he's a good guy, right? Oh, these whatever the people who were here, higher ups that were hearing this were thinking. Oh, he's a chaplain, right? And it just lets these men off time and time again. And
let me just use that to transition into my next story, because we're on the same train here, so we might as well continue down the track.
Okay.
We're gonna close it out. Don't worry, this is the end, and we want this one's a little bit happier because there's no victim, so that's nice.
Okay, all right,
that we know about anyway.
Okay.
But this is the story of a sting operation that caught a predator. And in this case, it was one Joseph Brent Walker, a Mormon who has been a Mormon bishop and in the stake presidency, which is like, just sort of lay clergy, but like important. Lay clergy. And also he was a columnist, a syndicated columnist who wrote a column called Value Speak, which extolled the virtues of traditional values.
Yeah.
He worked for the Deseret News. That's the Mormon-owned newspaper for a while. And recently he worked for the Department of Transportation. He was the communications director for the Utah Department of Transportation. And he was caught seducing and enticing a person who turned out to be a detective in the police department, but was posing as a 14-year-old girl.
Jesus.
Who apparently they made it clear multiple times in their conversations, I'm 14. I'm 14. And that only made him more excited. He was operating under the screen name William Wallace. Not sure what Braveheart has to do with this, but interestingly, that is also the same screen name that Mark Driscoll used when he got in trouble, thinking he was posting. Do you remember Mark Driscoll, the Mars Hill guy who got kicked out because he went on misogynistic, horrible rants and bigotry and whatever,
right?
Thinking he was being clever by disguising his name as William Wallace. Anyway, apparently that's a great screen name if you want to do something awful. Anyway, he has been caught. He did apparently attempt to flee, but they
really.
Yeah. Well, here's the weirdest part of this story is that somehow his former employer, the Deseret News, got word of this before. I don't know if an investigator contacted them because they worked with him or whatever. Got word of this before they arrested him and called him for comment. And he was like, I don't know about these charges. What are you talking about? So he was made aware before the fact and apparently hid for a few days while he had time to contact a defense attorney who then convinced him to turn himself in.
Yeah. I wish they had shown up at the door and he'd just run. Right. Like a scene from Cops.
That would be
right?
So great.
He didn't have his shirt on. It was just his garments. He's just running. Oh,
yes. That's what we needed. But there is no God, so we didn't get that. This guy's, I think he's 70 years old, by the way.
Okay.
So just to give you a sense of who this person is, he preached at the world about traditional values, which only, for years he did this, which of course means that he is actually more likely to be thrown in jail for attempted pedophilia.
Yeah.
But as you were saying, a bunch of people immediately jumped to his defense. One said he's a flawed man, but he is not a predator nor a threat to any community he's involved in.
Who just some member name
this was like a support. This was a neighbor or a friend. I don't know.
There's no defending these people, right?
Dude, don't stick your neck out like that. But these people cannot wrap their heads around the fact that someone that they saw as a kind, he's got a nice face and he's friendly at the ward picnic or whatever at the church functions and just so sweet. And he helped us with our trailer that we couldn't get unhitched that one time or whatever. And then they just cannot imagine.
Yeah.
And then they defend him. You can't say
don't defend.
He's not a predator.
You can't say that. You cannot say that. You can say I'm shocked. He seemed like such a nice man.
Yeah.
Right. You could say that if you feel like you have to say something.
But
that's
also
what you can say.
Maybe shut up.
Yeah.
Maybe don't say anything. Another person apparently insisted that, quote, Joe has always been a deeply religious person. Not sure how that's useful. Thank you. And then someone, a Utah Valley University professor, said it was impossible for him to, quote, reconcile the man I know and the person described in that article. But he still asked that this guy be released on bail pending trial. Why would you want that? Why? Look, I know he's your friend.
Yeah.
But
no.
What are you doing?
Oh,
Frank, if you are ever accused of these things, I'm sorry. I'm not going to ask that you be released.
It's fine. It's fine.
And I hope you'll do the same to me. You will immediately throw me under the bus. You're just like, not, you won't even flinch.
Let's see. I think it would go something along the lines of,
That's mean. You're just mean.
All right. That would be my quote.
I feel that some of our listeners are taking you seriously right now, and I'm suing you for defamation of character for saying All
right.
All right. Well, I have to stay on the straight and narrow, or Frank will immediately throw me under the bus. So don't worry about me, everybody. I'm going to be okay. Okay, that's gross. Let's just say if you would like to chime in about any of the things that we have been talking about today, we welcome your input. Yeah. Please write into us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
And if you're a fan of To Catch a Predator as much as I am, just leave us a voicemail message, 424-666-8442. Stick around. There's more show coming up.
Well, Frank, we've got some folks who have written into us and called into us. We've got missives of all sorts. So let's dive in. And again, I apologize to everyone who we're not reading their stuff. We had a lot. I was gone. Anyway, Leviticus wrote in to say, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia at 25. I am medicated and work and live normally. In the past few months, I opened up publicly about my mental health and my atheism in an effort to help others feel free to be open about these things. I write to you about an incident that occurred recently where an acquaintance that I respected told me my schizophrenia was a curse from Yahweh for not believing in him. I was obviously insulted, but didn't push the issue at the time. The conundrum I am faced with is I have to associate with this person, with this particular individual on a regular basis and still hold animosity towards him. I would appreciate to hear your advice on how to reconcile the issue. The individual is a fundamentalist Catholic and shows no regret over what they said. I have faced ostracization over my atheism, and it has me feeling jaded. Yeah, that's awful. What a horrifically callous thing to say.
Yeah.
But I think, and I'm not saying this to defend this person, but I think it might be helpful for you to think about where they think it's coming from, to think about their comment from their perspective, because I think that they plausibly believe that is a loving comment, which is to say they think
that is really generous.
I'm saying that level of generosity is probably too hard for most people. I understand that. But if you have to deal with this person and stuff, it doesn't hurt to try and be as generous as you can, because the door, if you want a good relationship with this person, I'm not saying you have to take it. What I'm saying is that's the starting point of a conversation. If you want to have a conversation,
I guess I see what you're saying
about
is to start the conversation with that in mind.
Right. So that you can say, hey, look, I know that what you said, you felt was out of concern for my eternal well-being. And there's something kind in that intention. But what it ended up being was very painful and very hurtful to me.
Yeah.
And going forward, please don't ever say anything like that to me again, because I didn't choose this. And what you've done is you've effectively victim blamed me.
Yeah.
And it's very painful, and
I mean, that's the part that's painful. It's not like this idea of that it's right, like coming from God or anything. It's this insulting thing coming from this person.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And who could be that like uninformed and kind of uncaring.
Yeah.
Right. About this other person's like situation. Right. Like it's fucked up. Like,
right. But what this person has been told is that mental illness is like they've sources that they trust and believe in have convinced them that mental illness is a punishment from God.
Right.
And I don't even know, like what? I don't know. You're not
right,
but you're likely not going to dissuade them from doing that.
Right.
But from believing that. But you might be able to like express your pain.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, they might be sympathetic. They might be apologetic. That's not a guarantee.
Yeah. But I would also maybe like, and this is, I don't know how good of advice this is, but it's almost like, I know you have to deal with this person, but their entire perspective on this is from an angle that you know to be so completely unfounded and so completely wrong.
Yeah.
Right. That I wouldn't give it much weight. Right. This is not somebody whose opinion should matter.
Right.
Right. Like they said something awful and insensitive, but at the same time, it's completely and entirely untrue.
They're deluded.
So don't lend it too much value or weight in your life.
I think that's true. Also,
you know,
it's not easy. That's not an easy thing to do because what they said was painful and you respected them before.
Yeah.
So yeah,
so there is loss there, right?
Yeah.
In that relationship, and that's hard.
Yeah.
But
absolutely. Yeah. And the other thing you can do, maybe, if you have a conversation, if you don't choose to have a conversation with them and you just sort of let them be, a few more steps removed from your life, that's fine too. Yeah. If you just choose to like distance yourself a little bit and just get them out, that's a fine option to do. If you do choose to confront them, and have this conversation, you can also mention that there are plenty of people who are believing Christians who work hard to be good Christians who also are schizophrenic.
Yeah.
And so this person is dishonoring their journey.
Yeah.
By saying shit like that also. Right. I don't know how much sway that would have, but maybe have them go talk to their priest and say, you know what? Go talk to your priest about this because I think you're hurting people by saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right.
And you could also just say that they're stupid.
Yeah.
And just,
I mean, I suppose you're
a big dum-dum and I don't respect you anymore.
Yeah. That's sad. I liked respecting you and that's over now. So boo.
So bye-bye.
All right. This is from Francesco, who is writing to you and Rachel. By the way, everybody, thanks so much. I am publicly thanking Rachel again for filling in for me. She always does a lovely job.
Yeah, she does.
Hi, Frank and Rachel. My main problem with banning or authorizing, for that matter, any religious event that there is no agreed upon criteria anywhere for what is a religion. You remember, so the story was that in Quebec, remind me.
The government is considering a ban on public prayer in Quebec, street prayer, right? Specifically, I think is the problem.
Yeah.
And there were some because and they think that this is coming from the fact that the Muslim community had done these like prayers outside of the big Catholic cathedral. And so they're just trying to shut it down because like it makes the Catholics feel icky. But people have also pointed out, but you guys do the Stations of the Cross out in public. So what's that? Right. So whatever. It's obviously an attack on the Muslim community.
Anytime you say you can't do public prayer, all you're doing is begging for public prayer. You're just going to get an influx of annoying public prayer if you do that.
I think I would go do public prayer.
Yeah. Anyway.
No,
anyway, Francesco goes on because I'll remind you that what Francesco said was that there are no agreed upon criteria for what is a religion.
Right.
The other Dan, by which he means Dan McClellan, the co-host of Data Over Dogma with me, possibly the most level-headed and self-aware person you could ask on the subject, once said something like, "Religion is what is studied by religious studies." That's funny. Which is pretty close to "I know it when I see it." Just with a consensus of experts. Most other people would not be nearly as reasonable. The sex club, that is trying for religious status to gain privileges, for instance, is going to have a hard time getting it. However, if religion's events were banned for some reason, just see how quickly the club would be classified as a religion. Even with Rachel's tax-exempt criterion, how many charities in Quebec will suddenly have to prove they are not religiously affiliated? It's an interesting point.
Yeah.
And what's a prayer? And if I stand out here and I just say, "I hope Yahweh gets you," is that a prayer? Or is that just am I just hollering?
What are your hands doing?
Right? Exactly. Yeah. It is tricky. Like when you have to nail it down, what counts? And guess what? I can find a workaround.
Yeah.
All righty. Should we play a voicemail?
Yes, indeed. This is from a listener by the name of Ryan, and he has a question about cults.
Hello, Frank and Dan. This is Ryan over in Duluth, Minnesota. I called a few weeks ago, and I was listening to an older episode about how the Mormon Church was taken off the cult list. And I just was thinking to myself, a lot of religions seem in some ways to be a cult. And coming from the Christian church, sometimes I think that the Christian church to me, is considered a cult. I just want to know what your guys' thoughts were. And if you don't think it's a cult, I would like to know what you guys think the difference is between what a religion is and a cult is, because sometimes it seems like a religion is just a cult where enough people believe in it, and then it's not considered a cult. So I just wanted to know what your guys' thoughts were. I really enjoy the show, and keep doing what you're doing. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Well, thank you so much for the question. It is a persistent and annoyingly difficult question to answer, and it's why a lot of people who study religions are no longer using the word cult. They're just abandoning that word altogether.
However,
I would say instead of abandoning the word, for our purposes here, let's just say they're all fucking cults. I vote we just if you've got a religion that has any fucking supernatural belief whatsoever, if you believe in astrology, you're in a cult.
Well, I would focus on harm, right? Like if you can point at a religion that doesn't harm people, right? Psychologically, ethically, physically, right? Like if it's not harming, then fine. But
which one
in
is
a lot of ways, show me that one.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd love to see it.
Because they all do, they mostly, especially the Christian ones, let's just focus on the Christian ones. They've got all these like mind games and ways that they fuck with you about sin and the fact that you are, subject to original sin or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like they have all of these fucked up little mind games.
Just the concept of hell. The concept of hell is child abuse.
Yeah.
Japan has ruled it so.
Yeah.
Telling kids that they might go to hell eternally for some dumb thing that they did. Yeah, that's child abuse.
Yeah.
But like, whose definition of harm, Frank? This is the problem. Like, if we do the defining, then your definition of cult that you just presented and mine are the same, because they all do harm when we look at them.
Right. Yeah, I know.
But when they look at them, what could possibly be bad? What's
so bad about shunning people? Right?
Sister Kristi Hansen, what could possibly be bad about the Mormons? The Mormons are good, sweet, kind people, and our theology is just perfect. Nothing bad ever comes of it.
Oh, I'm gonna
go take my diet pills before I get my boob job.
And then cry a little.
And then go scream into my pillow.
Alrighty.
Yeah, there you go. Cult is not an easily defined word. But yeah, I mean, traditionally the word cult is like, if it is a small group led by a charismatic leader and high control environment.
Yeah.
That's sort of the traditional like setup of a cult. Though I question the word charismatic, because most of them are just weirdo creeps who manage to get their hooks into some vulnerable people. But
well, I think it's a different definition of charisma.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
right.
It's not
the ability to get their hooks in is the charismatic part.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No one looks at L. Ron Hubbard and goes, "Ooh, that guy's got it." Look at the it factor on that fella.
Or that one, the weird one that was the self-help thing. I just keep thinking of NVIDIA, and I know it's not
Nexium.
The chip maker. Nexium. Yeah.
That Nexium
like that guy.
That was.
I like. Boy. He had like women fawning over him, and it's
charisma out the patoot. I tell you, just no end to that guy's charisma.
Anyway,
God.
All right.
It's the ponytail that does it. All right. Finally, I'm gonna close out with our Lord and Savior has written into us a missive from our Lord and Savior Alexandra, who says,
"Put it in the scripture."
Yes, that's right. My mom used to tell a joke about how she bought the Strong-Willed Child book when my older brother was born. We're talking about James Dobson. You'll recall he just died tragically. We're all just so sad about it. But yes, he wrote many books about parenting children, and one of them was The Strong-Willed Child. Alexandra goes on to say, she read it and felt like it wasn't useful at all. This is when her older brother was born. Then I was born, and at this point in the joke, she would slap her forehead with her palm and say, "Duh, so that's what he meant." This joke always got a hearty laugh in the homeschool community I grew up in.
Oh, God.
My entire childhood, my parents called me their strong-willed child, or even just their rebellious or disrespectful child, because everything I did and said somehow seemed to be a challenge of their authority, no matter how I meant it. To my parents, James Dobson's books might as well just have been additional books to the Bible. My earliest memories in my entire life were of my mom assigning me strikes for being disrespectful. And when I earned 3 strikes, I got a demerit from Dad. This meant that I would have to call my dad while he was at work and tell him that he needed to come home and spank me. Oh. He would come home, guilt me by explaining that him coming home from work meant that he had to tell his boss that I had been sinful and needed to be corrected.
I hope he actually said that, so he came off as a total freak.
Right?
But bullshit. I call bullshit.
Which would take away from his paycheck and the food he puts on the table.
None of that's true.
Then he would spank me as hard as he was able with a leather belt until I had red welts and could not sit down. This was 10 lashes for each demerit. One day I had, quote, earned 3 demerits or 30 lashes. By the time I called him, I was 4 years old. And I remember it vividly 30 years later.
Yeah.
This sort of spanking continued into my early teens, by which, man, this is a depressing show. I love you, Alexandra. I am so sorry this happened to you. My comment about this being a depressing show is not about you. It is just, we had some rough stories, and this is hard to hear.
This is rough too.
Each time, let's see. This sort of spanking continued until my early teens, by which time they switched to a large wooden board until one day my dad split it in half on me. Each time I was reminded that they do this only because they love me. It is no wonder that I didn't want to come out to my parents as trans, even though I knew who I was since I was 6. Yeah, you think? That doesn't, not exactly a friendly environment for that sort of nuanced discussion, no. Thankfully, as an adult, I was able to cut off all communication with them for several years, which, when combined with the death of my 20-year-old cousin, rattled them profoundly enough to change some of their beliefs and ask my forgiveness for their stubbornness. We are quite close now, and we love each other again. That's so great. They have accepted me as their daughter and have provided me with lots of support in my recent years. They are still Christians and still don't like that I'm an atheist, but they are finally showing the true love and acceptance that Christians claim to have. Alexander goes on to say that they deny a lot of the allegation, a lot of the abuse stuff, and say we were just doing our best to raise you. And Dobson's books are still on the bookshelf at my parents' house. They were their primary source for beating me and for treating my little sister's sexual purity like my dad's property. This is why I wish there was a hell for him to burn in forever. Dying peacefully at his home as an old man was too good for him.
Yeah.
Agreed, Alexandra. Thanks for writing in. And I'm glad that you and your parents have been able to fix things. That's kind of amazing. It's a bit of a miracle.
That's the twist I didn't see coming.
Right? And so yeah, wonderful. There is redemption possible, y'all. Not full redemption always, but like things can be rebuilt.
Yeah.
We have some folks to thank, so let's dive in with that.
We do, Dan.
William has come in with a one-time donation. So William is a deacon.
Nice.
In our priesthood, as
Welcome.
is Inspire, who is they're also a deacon. So thank you both so much for your contributions.
Yeah.
Do you have some folks to thank also?
I do indeed, Dan. I'm going to start with people who edited their membership.
Oh.
This is something you can do if you're on Patreon.
You're allowed to pay us more. There's no rules against that.
So we're going to thank Hugh, who is now a priest. And I'm going to thank also Boshvark, who is still a prophet, seer, and revelator, but
even more?
Ticked it up.
Even more so. Of one?
Yeah.
On your way, you're on your way to being our Lord and Savior.
Time.
You're not quite there yet, but keep trying. Keep going. You'll get there.
And then we have a number of new patrons. We have a new deacon by the name of Julia. So thank you.
Wonderful.
We have 3 new teachers. We have Freak Speely. I believe that's a Spoonerism.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you. We have Christopher. And I think this sounds familiar to me. I think we're welcoming Blurblar back.
Okay. Welcome back, Blurblar.
Blurblar is back. So thank you very much for signing up.
It's no wonder that they're back, because once you've lived with the magic powers of our priesthood,
indeed,
you don't ever want to give them up.
Indeed. And we also have a new priest, Dan, by the name of Randy.
Randy.
So thank you, one and all, for supporting the show. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you'd like to join these kind folk, you can do so by going to our website, thankgodimatheist.com/donate. And as always, Dan, we have our top donor to thank, our Lord and Savior, Alexandra.
More show coming up. All right, Frank, here's the story. TikTok, the social medias have their ills, but they also have some glorious things. And one of the glorious things, I don't know if you guys have been on the TikToks or whatever, but there are young people and old people pushing back against societal norms that are hurting them and that are doing stupid things.
Sure.
And some of it is in glorious fashion. And one of the big communities that has sprung up in these environs is the Ex-Mormon community.
Yeah.
Which has found, which is frankly a great way to get your views. Join the Ex-Mos.
Yeah,
and,
totally.
Talk about your experiences and, produce some fun, engaging content, which, let's be honest, Mormons are taught to be entertainers. Mormons they're encouraged to be in the road shows and they do plays, they do all kinds of things. They do, they're taught it's a musical culture. It is a culture where music is encouraged. Music lessons for kids is encouraged.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're going to get some entertainers out of there. You're going to get some David Archulettas and some Imagine Dragons guy and Johnny Osmonds. You're going to get
many Donny Osmonds.
Anyway,
why aren't there more Donny Osmonds in this world, Dan?
We might have too many. One's more than enough. But we also have some very engaging ex-Mormon content creators.
Yeah.
So much so that the Wall Street Journal did a little write-up.
Yeah.
Of ex-Mormon content.
Not just a little write-up. They spent some time on this.
Yes, they did.
It was a whole spread on the Ex-Mos, right? The Ex-Mo influencers.
Yeah.
And they highlighted a few of them. And what I thought was interesting, by the time I was done with the article, and they had turned to sort of highlight a couple of the influencers that are trying to support the church.
Right.
I noticed that there was a gender divide. That there was all of the Ex-Mo influencers trying to take down the church were women, and the ones trying to support the church were men.
The ones highlighted, yes.
The ones highlighted in this article, right?
Yeah.
The ones that were probably amongst the easiest to find, right?
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of interesting because it kind of works into a lot of different issues that we've talked about on the show.
Yeah.
Of men staying with conservative churches, and leaving them, the fear that Mormon leadership has of young women and young women being outspoken against the church, or at least even if they're on the inside, about issues that concern them within the church. Right. So
and one of the things that's nice about this, and that the article points out, is that ex-Mormons used to leave in a cloud of shame.
Yeah.
And have no one to talk to about it.
Yeah.
And have no one to go to. And they didn't know who else was out of the church. And they just thought that they were now exiles from their community and whatever.
Yeah.
And now this new community is robust and thriving. Yeah. And many of them are listening to us right now or watching us on YouTube right now.
In fact, yeah. But one of the things I thought was really interesting that they talked about, because they talked to Mormons who are on TikTok, active,
believing
Mormons.
Sure.
And they are sort of saying that as soon as the algorithm figures out that they're Mormon, they get bombarded with all of the ex-Mormon stuff, right? Which is really interesting, right? And
that's how algorithms
work. It has internal numbers about the proportion of sort of the anti-Mormon, for lack of a better word, information that's getting posted on social media versus the pro-Mormon content, and that the anti-Mormon stuff is dwarfing, right?
Oh yeah.
But the real information about the church and people talking about their experience leaving the church and what they're finding on the outside, right?
Yeah.
And the better life that they're finding on the outside, that stuff outweighs significantly
absolutely
the pro stuff.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. And because let's be honest, pro religious content is boring and awful. And anti-religious and like post-religious content can be fun and playful. Like you have license, you don't have to be reverent about anything.
Sure.
You can just play.
Right.
And you can do things like one of the influencers that they highlighted. They put a picture of her in her temple clothes that she had put out into the world. And let me tell you something. In the Mormon world, that's literally sacrilegious. Like that is shocking to the Mormons.
And it's caught the attention of the Mormons. In fact, it caught the attention of one Senator, Mike Lee of Utah, Mormon extraordinaire, dingus extraordinaire.
Just what a turd of a human. Just such a bad person. This is the same guy, you'll recall, who when 2 legislators were murdered in it was in Minnesota, I think it was.
Yeah.
Immediately tweeted out jokes about it.
Yeah.
But that would be, of course, unconscionable if like Republicans, if good Christians were hurt.
Right.
He of course was deeply offended by this article. And it's funny because until I saw the picture of because I saw his response before I read the article itself that he was responding to. Right. And until I saw the picture of the woman in her temple clothes, I was like, what the fuck is he on about? Because he was acting like this whole article was, rather than it being just just sort of talking about these people who are ex-Mormon,
right,
which is all the article does. He's talking about it as this grand attack on Mormonism, this insane offensive against the church. And I was just like, what are you talking about? And then, it did show a girl in her temple clothes. So I think that's enough for Mormons to feel fully attacked and persecuted.
Well, he tweeted, I'm confident the Wall Street Journal would never run a hit piece on the Catholic Church featuring a photo of defiant ex-Catholics desecrating the Eucharist. He said that he was stunned and disappointed.
Man, it's so funny. Just literally highlighting what's happening, highlighting a group of people who aren't fans of your group.
Yeah.
Is a hit piece against you.
Well, what desecration? The fact that she showed it? That's enough to desecrate it? Because that's not the same as showing the Eucharist.
Yeah,
right?
She's not exactly
desecrating the Eucharist is, that's a thing, right?
Like, if she were like pouring lighter fluid on it and setting her temple clothes aflame, or peeing on it or something, that would be desecration.
Yeah. I don't want to get too much into like the weeds there, but I do.
I want to give people ideas for their content.
If you want to truly piss Mike Lee off.
Yeah, go on. Let's bombard Mike Lee with images of your old temple clothes and the things that you're doing with them.
Oh, I wish I had mine.
Put them on your dog and take him for a walk. Dude, what else can we think of?
At Mike Lee. Put it on Twitter, at Mike Lee.
At Mike Lee. Hey,
and just
look at this. What do you think of this?
We need to get this started, Dan.
Just put them in like literally find them in different places in the world. You don't even have to desecrate them. Just literally show them in funny ways. Put them on a mannequin out in front of a store.
Yeah.
Just get a picture of you like serving tables in your temple clothes or something.
Baking
Baking? Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it looks a little bit like a baker's hat. So.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got an apron, so everything's working out great.
Yeah.
Oh man, skiing in your temple? I don't know. Just get creative about it. Have some fun with it.
Yeah. Trick or treating. Get your kids in temple clothes. Have them send them out trick or treating.
Oh my God, there would be lynchings in Utah if kids started showing up at houses in their parents' old temple clothes.
Trick or treat.
Don't even just tell them you're a ghost. It's all white. This is a ghost costume.
What's the green apron for?
Shush. Just go and knock on Sister Christiansen's door. She's gonna love it. Wow, that would be a lot.
It'd be good.
It's literally like I can't overstate the impact that would be a nuclear impact in the neighborhood in Salt
Lake. But seriously, I want to see these photos, guys.
Or whatever.
We know you're out there. We know this. We know you're out there. You still have your temple clothes. They're somewhere in your house. Right. And you got kids who
or put them on your dog. I really like the idea of temple clothes on dogs. If you have temple clothes. And, like a big dog, a big breed dog, I need to see this picture. I need to see your standard poodle walking around.
All right.
Giving the sure sign of the nail or whatever.
Oh, no.
Okay. I guess the big thing is just fuck Mike Lee here. But also, of course, they're going to, any chance to feel persecuted, any chance to feel under attack is great for them. It's their favorite thing in the world. So go out there and do it.
So give it to them. You're giving them a gift.
Give them the gift of feeling persecuted. And maybe our listeners can write in and give it. We're only coming from the Mormon perspective. We paint with the paint that we were raised with.
Right. Yeah.
But maybe you guys can give ideas for how to fuck with the religions of your birth. I don't know. I don't know if there's a good Jehovah's Witness equivalent to this, or if it's pretty. I know that the Jewish people have all kinds of fun clothing, religious based. It does open you up to a different group of things. That's an actually persecuted group. So I don't know.
Yeah, it might not.
Somebody find something. Somebody figure something out for us. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, congratulations to all of the Ex-Mo creators that are out there doing the Lard's work.
Indeed.
And I include you in that, Frank. Congratulations to you.
Oh, Dan, I'm an Ex-Mo influencer.
Yeah.
You have to have more listeners than we do to be an
influencer. I don't know. We've achieved low tier Ex-Mormon influencer status.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody write in and tell us how many people.
We're not really influencers. We're more sort of nudgers.
Nudges, I think is the word you're looking for. All right, friends. Well, thank you so much for joining us. That's it for the show. If you'd like to write into us, you can do so by writing to podcast@thankgodimatheist.com,
or call and leave us a voicemail message. We'd love to hear from you. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
If you have laughed at this show, if you've been influenced by us and would like to donate some of your hard-earned money to help keep it going, you can go to thankgodimatheist.com/donate.
I just wrote that down.
Good.
This episode was edited by Roger Gowdy. Music was provided by the Red Rock Hot Club and Gordon Johnston.
Hey, thanks to all y'all for tuning in. We sure do appreciate you.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank God I'm Atheist is a production of TGIA Media, LLC, copyright 2025, all rights reserved.